Hello and welcome to another video, and today I wanted to bring something up that's been bothering me for the last couple of days since this came out, and I want to talk about it and address it. And I thought there's something else that also is being talked about. I thought we could tackle these issues in one video. So these are two separate things. We're going to put them into one video. The first thing I want to discuss, as you probably saw from the thumbnail of this video, is the idea of messing around with Tomb Raider. So I want to preface before I start in on bashing this project, which I'm going to bash this project because it's utter shit. Is you need to keep in mind that this is a tabletop game. This is not indicative of the next Tomb Raider game, but it is being developed by Crystal Dynamics and this Evil Hat Studios. And let me tell you, this is the plan for what they want to do with Lara Croft for the next Tomb Raider. So I would say this is a very good indication of the direction they want to go with Lara Croft. So here we are. It's called Tomb Raider Shadows of Truth. And I just want to read some of this verbatim about this, just so you guys have the words and understand what's going on here. Okay, this was posted April 9th, so again, a couple days. British adventurer Lara Croft will transition from being a raider of tombs to a seeker of truth as Evil Hat Productions and Crystal Dynamics seek to redefine the Tomb Raider series in order to escape a history wounded by colonialism, according to an excerpt from the official Tomb Raider Shadows of Truth RPG rulebook. Raiding, as depicted in the original Tomb Raider games and stories, involves going to ancient tombs and historical sites of different civilizations and acquiring artifacts. It operates on the assumption of finders keepers that grants raiders with the means and the drive to claim ownership of artifacts, regardless of whether they have any historical or cultural claim to the treasure. Later games released in the franchise have started the work of addressing this by having Lara Croft acknowledge her past mistakes and try to understand and show respect for the cultures and communities she comes into contact with. She's also worked to reform Raider culture and raise the awareness of her peers. I'm going to pause for a second there. What the fuck are they talking about? I've played pretty much every Tomb Raider game, with the exception of a little bit of those earlier ones, but I love that most recent trilogy. Tomb Raider, what was it? Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Rise of the Tomb Raider? I don't know why I couldn't think of that one. I've played all three of those. They are fantastic games. At no point during any of that was there ever anything that I can remember, and again, it's been, a couple years since I played any of those games, but anything that she did that addresses these problems. She's still raiding tombs. Now, in the first one, the reboot from 2013, there's not really a lot of tomb raiding. That comes later within Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, respectively. But again, this was not an issue. People are not upset by this, okay? People still love Indiana Jones. People still love Uncharted. These are not problematic characters. It's fiction. Lara no longer decorates her mantle with mythic artifacts. As a raider, she prioritizes seeking out the truth. Much of this game is inspired by her humanity, struggle with heroism, and her tenacity. We believe that all three aspects are an important component in creating a game that celebrates history and culture while acknowledging the respected work required to live in a world wounded by colonialism. There it is again, a world wounded by colonialism. In this game, we seek to continue to work alongside Crystal Dynamics by creating a sandbox for you to tell stories that address colonialist themes and play and create your own stories of respect and support for the people and cultures your seekers encounter. And there you can see a picture. I'm going to see if I can blow it up here a little bit. Here is one of the big other issues that people are taking with this game. Look at these characters, okay? I just look at these characters. Like, this is, if you want to, go down the rabbit hole of, are they checking off like DEI diversity stuff? Abso-fucking-lutely here. Okay. You have every person you possibly could here. And it's exactly what you expect the game to be. Also, I want to point out, look at Lara Croft. Like, look at the actual character design of Lara Croft. Okay. She has arms like Abby from The Last of Us. And they keep doing this. And I don't think we've talked about this on the channel. And this is something that I want to bring up. And this is something I want to discuss today. This is happening all the time. There is this like ridiculous idea of desexualizing characters. For some reason, it only happens with female characters, if you notice. For example, look at any of the actors we've taken recently. Look at the actor that plays Cal Kestis from the recent Star Wars Jedi Survivor game, the other one. Okay, did they change anything about how that guy looks from the actress to, from the actor to the character you're playing? No, it's the same fucking person. But if you look at the character for this upcoming Star Wars game, which I'm going to pull up here, is very good indication of what I'm talking about here, okay? This is the actual mocap actress that is playing, I believe the character's name is Kay Vess, okay? Awesome. She's an attractive woman, and so look at the image on the left, okay? Look at the image on the right. These are not the same fucking person. What did they do? Like, between this, you can notice here too in this picture I put up here, like, why do we keep doing this? I don't understand why this keeps happening. It's ridiculous. And this is not the first time that it's happened. There are plenty of examples you can go look at, but this is a common theme in the industry right now that we keep seeing. And it's fucking ridiculous. Why is it only the women? What has changed in the last 10 years where every woman has to look, I guess, this way? I don't get it. Like, if you want to do this, it's fine. Have equal representation. Like, start doing this to male characters, but they don't. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. So before you get on my back or, think I'm one of those like weirdos or something. It's just I'm pointing out like a problem, and this is a problem I see with the character of Lara Croft as well. We've taken that character and for whatever reason made her more manly. Why are we getting away with what originally sold that character in the first place? Why was Lara Croft popular in the 90s? Besides the fact that those games were cool as shit, it was because she was a female that was attractive that people enjoyed that. It's not a problem. So why are we making it a problem all of a sudden? That's the point that I'm trying to make here. And I'll say this too, is like the Star Wars game, like I have a different opinion than most people on this Star Wars game. My issue with the game has nothing to do with the character. Like, I don't give a shit that you play as a female character. That does not bother me at all. I'm not one of those people like, oh God. I'm also not one of those people, when I play a video game, I don't need to see myself as the person I'm playing as, because that's not why I play video games. I play video games to experience that character's story. And I think that's how most people play video games these days. So when I look at this and I see dumb shit like this, I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense why we're doing this, why we have this like insane, infatuation with every character everybody has to see themselves in the character. That's not how people play video games. That's like 99% of the people that play video games don't play video games that way. So I don't understand it. But that's not the reason why I have a problem with Star Wars Outlaws. The reason I'm bummed about this game primarily is first of all, it's coming off of recent Star Wars. Recent Star Wars has been shit. There's been nothing good, with the exception of those first 2 Mandalorian seasons, that has come out of Disney Star Wars. Everything has been pretty much pure garbage. The sequel trilogy was trash. These other shows have not been very good. I didn't hate Obi-Wan, but most people did. But it wasn't spectacular. It was fine. I didn't watch Andor. I heard that one was good. I'm not going to watch Ahsoka because I don't fucking care. And The Acolyte looks like hot ass garbage. So what you have left here is this game. And my biggest issue with it is the same issue I have with most of Disney Star Wars, which is, why does this stuff have to be tied to this original trilogy? Okay, I already got a new trilogy that took the characters of Han, Luke, and Leia and just fucking shit on each one of those characters, all 3 of those movies. And you might sit there and be like, well, I don't understand what you're saying. Here, I'll run it down for you real quick. We killed Han Solo. Sorry, spoilers for the Star Wars sequel trilogy if you haven't seen them, but come on. We killed Han Solo. We killed Luke Skywalker, but also like we changed him from everything he stood for to making him an angry old hermit who almost killed his nephew. And the only character I'd say that maybe got away with being okay was Princess Leia. And then unfortunately, Carrie Fisher died in real life, so they couldn't wrap up her story. But again, those characters should have been celebrated, not fucking deconstructed and then shoving in this new character, which is, Rey, who like name some famous lines from that Star Wars trilogy that Rey has said that, people remember. You can't name one because it doesn't matter. They were all trash. But anyways, the point I'm making here is this game is set during Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I don't want that. Get away from that shit. Like, stop trying to tie to the old shit. Just make something new with Star Wars. That was the whole thing that I was excited for 10 years ago or whatever it was when Disney bought Star Wars. Like, they're going to make new Star Wars. That's awesome. No, they've just ruined it. But again, I go back and I want to reiterate, like, the big issues here is like, why does this keep happening with games? Why does this keep happening with characters that you love? I understand the character of Lara Croft has been rebooted many times. Don't worry, she'll be rebooted again. It doesn't matter. But why do we have to go to such extremes and take this character to the point that we're literally changing what her character is? Okay. The name of the fucking game is Tomb Raider. That's what she does. She raids tombs. She looks for artifacts. Okay. Not hard to figure that out. So then again, why the actual fuck are you going to stop her from being a raider of tombs, but still fucking call the game Tomb Raider? Why? Why are we doing that? Like, that's the most ironic thing about the entire project. And again, I'm ranting on a card game or a tabletop game that probably isn't even going to do anything with the video game. We don't know. I can only assume that this is the direction that Crystal Dynamics wants to take this character, because remember, they didn't even want to have any involvement with bringing out the recent remasters. They tried to distance themselves as much as possible because apparently those games were problematic. I have no idea, but that's what they said. There's literally when you start the game, there's a message that comes up and says that. So I don't get it. And I've seen this stupid shit going on for a long fucking time. And it's time to just, make a comment and take a stance on it and say, this is garbage. Star Wars Outlaws, like, again, I can point out that the character looks funky as hell. Like, I don't know why we changed this, pretty attractive actress to looking, ugly. I don't know why we did that. I don't understand why we have to keep uglifying people in video games. Only women, though. They don't do it with male characters. I don't understand that. But on the flip side of it, just stop ruining shit. Like, that's my big thing. That's my big takeaway. Stop ruining shit. And that's why I wanted to put this video out. And again, these are just two examples of recent games. I could go down a list of stuff that, we just keep ruining over and over again. And I mean, I could sit here and talk about like recent Marvel movies and really get in the woods about that, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm just curious to know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this topic? This is, I'm really kind of skating by something else that's been going on in the industry here that we've talked about in the podcast, which is, the Sweet Baby stuff. This isn't really about that. This is more about like, why the fuck does why are these characters being uglified? Why are we taking a character that's existed in a video game franchise for 30 fucking years and trying to change not only what they're fundamentally about, but how they look? Just seems fucking wild, right? As always, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And until next time.